Welcome to the Scottsdale Vibes podcast. I'm Alicia Haygood. This week, we're going to be shining a light on women who are making a real change in our community. I'm joined by Kara Peters and Holly Amin from the Women's Collective to talk about their mission to elevate women leaders and their upcoming night run, the Sunset 5K for charity that helps make all of this happen. But first, the Scottsdale housing market. It's always a hot topic here in town. It's always changing, and no one else knows it better than our real estate agent here, Shawn Shackelton. So we're here to share what's happening in the market, which neighborhoods are heating up, new developments are coming up, good and bad, pros and cons, and how all of this is impacting our housing values and home values around Scottsdale. So welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm excited to have you. So as I'm going to say this, and it's crazy to hear, wrap up 2025.
Where did the year go? It's crazy.
What is the housing market look like? Is it a buyer seller market, and how is this working in Scottsdale?
Well, buyer seller's market, it depends on where you are.
Okay.
In Scottsdale right now, we are in a seller's market, but I think I've said this the last few times I've been on. It's a seller's market, but I say that with caution.
Right.
It is not. I feel like most sellers, when you say seller's market, they immediately go back to the COVID days.
Oh,
we are
more
not
money, more money.
We are not in the COVID days anymore. So don't think that we are in a seller's market means I can put whatever price I want on my house and that you're going to get 25 offers on day 3.
Yeah.
It's just not happening like that. We are seeing houses sit on the market longer. I will tell you, I just closed on a house today that we did have multiple offers. We had to beat out 4 offers. We beat it, and we had to go over list price. So is that still happening? It is. But it is not happening all the time. It is rare that it's happening, and it's happening for very unique properties. Like, has to be in the right location.
Okay.
Has to have all the right finishes. Has to have all the things that all the buyers are wanting right now. And the price has to be pretty good. Now, if the house is, because this house that I'm talking about was not completely remodeled over the top to the way that everybody wants it right now. But it was redone nicely in a really good location with a great backyard.
Okay. That goes back. You have to pros and cons, everything that's really important to you.
For sure.
So
right?
what are you seeing these buyers are really needing? What is the taste right now? What are some of those things that I'm not willing to sacrifice this, but I will, succumb to this?
Well, I will tell you that one of the biggest things that people are looking for is they're looking for a house that's been well maintained.
Okay.
So they want to know, has the roof been replaced? Have the air conditioning units been replaced? How about the hot water heater? Have all those other things been maintained well over time, or at least within the last 5 to 10 years? Like, have those things been replaced? If they haven't, if the house has been completely remodeled on the inside and it's the way that everybody is wanting it to look now, can they overlook some of that? Kind of. Not everything. Because then people look at it and they're like, great, they did all the interior stuff, but they did none of the expensive, big maintenance items that have to be done.
Right.
So I always tell sellers, I'm like, if you have an old air conditioning unit and an old roof, your air conditioning unit is working, functioning, has been serviced, all of that, but your roof is old, we can probably get by with your air conditioning, but we're not going to get by with your roof.
Yeah.
Your roof, they're going to ask you to replace the roof.
It's kind of one or the other, right?
Well, it's not even one or the other. It's if you're going to put out some money, the roof is where people are going to go.
Okay.
Because if the house is in good order and the air conditioners are old but they're functioning, no seller in this market, I'm going to give this as a caveat a little bit, especially in certain price points, no seller is going to replace an air conditioning unit. I know some in some lower price points where they've had to replace the air conditioning unit. But no seller is going to replace an air conditioning unit or 2, right?
Yeah.
But a roof, I've seen more deals blow up over roofs than I care to remember. It just happens. And sellers want to go, no, my roof is fine. I've not had any problems with it. I get it checked out. That doesn't really mean much. And the rationale of the buyer is, okay, so they've lived in the house for 15 to 20 years and the roof has been fine, but now I'm buying it and it's at the end of its life. So I should now incur the cost of an old roof on a house that now I also have to do updates to. Like, I'm not doing it. Yeah. I'm not willing to do that. And people go, well, then the prices need to come down. And this is the double-edged sword, because our prices aren't really going to come down. I believe our prices are going to stay a little bit stagnant. I do think some prices are going to go up and some are going to come down a little bit. Not drastically. We are not headed for a crash. However, you have to take into consideration these big ticket items, because if you're not willing to price your house appropriately from the beginning, you are going to either buyers are going to cancel on you because you're not willing to replace the roof. They will, or you are going to have to participate or fully replace your roof. And again, it can happen in a lot of ways, right? You can do it as a credit. You can have it, paid to the roofer if they're paying cash. I mean, there's different ways to do it so you're not out of pocket fitting the bill.
Correct.
But some way, somehow you're going to pay for that roof.
Get ready. Just have it in your mind.
Well, and with all the rain that we just had,
yeah,
I said this to a few clients I had under contract. I'm like, I'm wondering if I'm going to get, and one in particular I knew had an old roof. I said, I'm wondering if I'm going to get a call from the real estate agent telling me, so the roof is leaking now. And per our contract, if it's leaking, the seller has to fix it.
Yeah.
They have to fix it.
So just be prepared. And
just be prepared, right?
What neighborhoods are really hot right now in Scottsdale, or is it the whole city? There's certain areas.
Well, it's the whole city is hot. I would say the place that's probably struggling the most. I know you said what's hot, so I would say most are hot. But I would say the place that's struggling the most right now are condos. And the reason the condos are struggling a little bit is because in Scottsdale we have a lot of condo complexes that are owned by a lot of investors. Mm-hmm. So it makes the condo if you're getting a loan, it makes the condo what they consider non-warrantable, which means that if you're getting a loan, you can't get a loan for it.
Okay.
Unless you're conventional and putting a lot of money down. But most are like, I'm an FHA buyer. They're trying to get in. And so we've got so much of that in Scottsdale that it's hard. And I don't deal with them a lot, but I've had some clients that are like, well, what about this condo? And they'll find all these things on Zillow. I'm like, not warrantable, not warrantable, not warrantable. Like meaning you can't buy in that complex.
Yeah.
So it makes it really tough.
Well, that was my next question. These new developments that are coming, not only in Scottsdale, but I mean, all around the valley, they affect here in Scottsdale. How is that going to affect our market? It brings in, even some of these developments that are going to bring in new jobs and corporations and stuff like that affecting us.
Well, I think that it is going to affect us because a lot of the places, even if they're a little farther out and they're employing people with high paying jobs, a lot of those C-suite executives, they want to live in Scottsdale.
Right, exactly.
Right. So, I mean, even if they're like, you know what, I've got to go in the office and maybe my drive is half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't have to go in every day.
Right.
I'm fine. I can commute, a couple days a week. And then otherwise I can work from home. Mm-hmm. And so they want to live in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
This is where they want to have their family and live and the whole thing. So it will affect our overall market. And it does affect our overall market.
In a positive way.
In a positive way, for sure. I mean, but again, understand that we don't have people, I hear this often, like, oh my gosh, all these people are moving here and they're coming in and they're throwing down cash and they're raising all the prices for everybody. And I am not seeing that.
So are you seeing more of local people buying right now?
Well, no, I have a lot of people from out of state. But what I mean is I don't see a lot of people just throwing around cash saying, I'm going to outbid everybody else and so that I can get the house. Okay. That's not necessarily happening. Buyers are more cautious. They're more, they're pickier.
Yeah.
They have the ability to be pickier. And a lot of people want to talk about, oh my gosh, our inventory is going up and therefore they have so much to choose from, therefore prices will come down. The problem with that kind of mindset is that, yes, we have some more on the market. We don't have an exponential number of more homes on the market. And a lot of the homes on the market are what we just talked about.
Right, they need
maintenance, they need a new roof, they need new air conditioners. So buyers are looking at all of this stuff kind of with a fine-tooth comb, and they're looking at it and they're going, okay, it's a great house in a great location. Maybe it has a new roof. Here's the thing. If they go in and they go, it's in the location that I want, the floor plan that's functional, all the other things that I want are good, and it has a new roof and a new air conditioning unit, they're like, I'll buy that house and I'll redo it over time.
Right, and then you can just do what you want with it.
The other side is I go into a neighborhood that's got where I want to be, great floor plan, great house, completely updated, everything's been touched. I will overpay for that house because I don't have to do anything and I can just move in tomorrow and I don't have to do anything.
So it depends on the buyer.
So it does. I mean, and so that's kind of the thing. That's where it's hard for buyers and sellers. They're looking at the market. They're trying to analyze the market as well. They're like, I don't get it. And I'm like, well, I can tell you this is what's happening. Like if you're looking at a house that needs work, it's not going to be priced as high, even though people feel like it should be because they go, well, my neighbor down the street just sold their house for, XYZ.
Always.
And then I always ask the question, when was that? And they say, just 3 months ago. And I'm like, I look and it was 2 years ago. I'm like, that wasn't as soon as you thought it was. So, I mean, you really have to look at everything, and you just have to know what are the buyer's hot buttons. And that is what I can tell you. Buyer's hot buttons are maintained houses, updated to a degree. I mean, they're willing to take on some projects, but they're not willing to take on a lot.
Yeah.
And please, for the love of anything, like if you
get a new roof.
Not even a new roof. It's when you walk in and you go, my house has been updated. But I walk in and it's you've been updating over time, and you've not kept that theme throughout the house. So I walk in and there's 4 or 5 different types of flooring. And buyers notice it immediately. They're like, I got this floor and this floor and this floor. So it's just little things like that. I mean, and I know that's not kind of little because flooring's expensive, and I get it. I do. I get it. But you have to take that into consideration when you're pricing the house.
Yeah.
You have to.
We are about to talk to some of the Women's Collective founders. I'm really excited about this. Being a women business owner yourself, being in real estate is not easy. Talk about, I want to kind of connect with that. What have you learned, and what advice would you give to, someone that's looking to come up in this field? Yeah.
It's not easy. I have been selling real estate since 1998, so I'm new. The biggest thing that I tell people is, as much as you feel like you have a great network of people, and even those people that have lived here their whole life, buying and selling real estate is a very, very big decision, and it's an extremely big financial commitment. So you getting brand new into the real estate business and going to your friends and family saying, guess what, I got my license, and thinking that everybody's just going to come right to you, doesn't happen. Yeah. It just doesn't happen. And part of the reason is twofold. One, if they think that you're new, maybe not that they don't like you or that they don't trust you, it's that they just feel like you're just too new at this and they're too green. And some people don't like going to their family. So like, I don't want you knowing my personal information. I don't want you knowing all of that about me, which is fine. That's their prerogative. But my biggest thing to anybody is find somebody that can mentor you. Because you go to real estate school and you're going to pass your test and it tells you zero about the business. Yep. Absolutely nothing about the business.
Find the right one.
Yeah. So finding a mentor that you can actually work alongside with and that is willing to teach you like that, I think is really, really important. And there's a lot of people out there that have these gigantic teams. I hear from them all the time. Oh, I went and I got on the team and they told me I was going to get all these leads and they told me I was going to get this and that. Well, you're working for them. Yeah. And they're teaching you kind of just to make phone calls, but not really kind of how to do the business. So I'm always cautious with that. I mean, I've talked to a few lately that's kind of their thing. They're like, well, they told me that I was going to get X, Y, and Z, but I just still feel like I'm not that busy. I don't have that many opportunities. Yeah. And one of them specifically said, they told me I needed to sit down and I needed to make all these phone calls. The thing with real estate that's good and bad is that there's no one right way to do it. But you got to find, you have to find what works for you and find how you feel the most comfortable. But it's very easy to get caught up in shiny object syndrome in this business as well and start spending a lot of money. I get people that call me and they'll say, what CRM do you use? Yeah. And I'm like, how many clients do you have? Yeah. And they're like, well, I don't really have any. I said, then you don't need one. Yep. Fair. I'm like, just don't go spend money. It's easy. It's easy to do. In this business, go spend money. I got to have all the systems. I got to have all the things. It's like, no, you just need to go talk to people. Well, I love that. And as you know, go, like Shawn said, find a mentor for you as you get into the business, or find the right agent, just like Shawn, and she keeps telling us every month what's going on in the market. So she has been with us over 25 years, as she said, since 1998. She does know her stuff. Shawn Shackelton Real Estate has guided buyers and sellers with straight talk, smart strategy, and data that keeps you ahead of the market. If you want a calm pro who won't let you settle for less, call Shawn at 480-734-7277 or go to theshackletongroup.com. In 2018, 5 women came together with one vision: to help women rise into executive leadership roles. That vision came and grew into the Women's Collective, a dynamic, all-volunteer nonprofit that built on connection, mentorship, and empowerment. Through their program and fundraising, the Women's Collective has awarded nearly $100,000 in grants to local organizations that help women advance in leadership and achieve their goals. And now they're inviting the community to lace up their running shoes and join them for the Night Run Sunset 5K for charity. We'll talk about how I can volunteer without my running shoes, but that's different. It's happening November 8th along the Arizona Canal in Scottsdale, and it's a family-friendly event of fitness, fun, and philanthropy, tongue twister.
Every step really does support the Women's Collective and their mission to inspire and elevate women leaders right here in our community. So today I have two amazing women leaders of the Women's Collective, Kara Peters, who's president of the Women's Collective, and Holly Amend, who's chair of the Night Run. So welcome, ladies. I'm so excited. I've known about you guys for years. You and I know each other. I'm so excited to meet you too, Holly, but let's start with you.
Okay, thanks. It's great to be here too, Alicia. We love the energy that you've got. So thank you. What an intro.
I mean, the intro is how like you and the ladies are just maybe having a glass of wine. Like, you know what? We need some more women power in here. We've got to rise each other. How did you guys come up with this?
It was way more than that. And I do have to say the Women's Collective came to be, I think, really over several women over years, probably always having a similar conversation like, wow, wouldn't it be nice if there was an organization for professional women to inspire professional women to rise to the higher ranks in executive leadership? So I know I'll speak for myself and some of the founders of the Women's Collective. It would probably be year after year where we'd be sitting around and we would talk really about a lot of the local nonprofits that are doing amazing things, such as the Charos and the Thunderbirds. You know, those are amazing organizations making a community impact. And we thought, really, we need to have something like that similar for women, also with the mission of getting more women in executive roles. And that's really how the Women's Collective came to be, is after years and years of this, we thought it's time to make it happen. So that work started, as you mentioned, in 2018 with an official launch of our nonprofit in 2020.
And now here we are, 2025. You've grown tremendously. We're going to do a night run with Canal Convergence. So it's already a massively fun week, beautiful background that y'all could choose for it. Kind of talk about how the night run is here and how this is going to feed in. I want to talk about this whole purpose is feeding into the philanthropy and grants and giving back.
Yeah, sure. So Night Run, this is, I believe, our fourth year doing the Night Run. The first year, I think we just, that was actually when you all approached me at the running shop to help advertise for the race. But I believe that was an opportunity that just came up the last couple months before it started.
Yeah.
And we made a nice connection with Scottsdale Arts, who was the original, I don't know if there are
The history of
people,
the night.
the Night Run, they were the original owners of the Night Run for the Arts. It was called the Night Run for the Arts, and it started in the 80s. And so we approached them to be able to take on that name and then continue the race, idea of having that charity event. And so we're starting and ending right at the Canal Convergence on the first weekend on Saturday.
I mean, in 4 years, I'm sure you've grown every year with the participants and stuff like that. Is it mainly women that are signing up? Is it anyone and everyone? Is it kids too?
Are we glad that you asked that? Because we've even talked about our branding, and this is the Women's Collective, and we're a fundraising agency. But the Night Run is for the entire community.
Yeah.
It is a community event. So it's if you're a runner, if you're a family, if you're, you know what I mean, whatever it is, a group of people coming together just to run. So it's not just for women. It is
Can
for
we
community.
walk the
You
5K?
can walk the 5K. You can stroll the 5K. You can skip the 5K. Whatever you want. But really, if you haven't been out to it, Alicia, it is amazing because it happens at sunset. It's beautiful. And you do this 5K. And when you finish Canal Convergence, and I'm glad we're talking about our partners in Scottsdale Art, Canal Convergence, which is an amazing community event. So you finish your run, and then you can walk Canal Convergence. So it's one thing that makes Scottsdale so special, that you can enjoy this physical exercise, whatever level you're at, but then go out and enjoy arts and culture outdoors on a canal in Old Town Scottsdale, which is amazing.
It's my favorite week. I love it. Let's talk about the fun, how you were giving back this $100,000 in grants to local organizations. Talk a little bit about that and what organizations you work with.
Yeah. So really, when the Women's Collective came together, we spent a lot of time talking about our mission and what was the need. And again, going back to what I talked about in the beginning, we're really laser focused on women that might be in middle management, and we're really trying to inspire women to take it to the next level. And, you know, there's been a lot of strides with women in leadership, but still, if you look at the research, there's still a lack.
There's a gap.
There's a gap. There continues to be a gap for women in executive roles around a boardroom, and we're really trying to make a change to that through our work, through our philanthropy. So really what we do these fundraising efforts. The Night Run is our signature event to do that. And then we really have a grant application process where we open it up to nonprofits, organizations to apply for those grant funds. And then we select, obviously, the organizations that align with our mission. So, for example, we've given funding to Scottsdale Public Library, and they did a whole series on women and education around women. So it was a perfect fit there. That's open to the public. So that was really nice. We have given funds to Take the Lead Women. These are some amazing organizations. You probably have heard for Dress for Success, an agency that where women can come and they can get, interview attire to get out for their interview. So I have to say it's been varied in the organizations that we support, but that's the theme, that really there's an element of their work that aligns with our mission of inspiring and elevating women leaders. And really over the years, and I'm a professional working woman, as we all are sitting around here. And, I think what we're learning is for women in leadership, the door is open. Women just need to now walk on through. And we learned that from one of our grant recipients, Take the Lead Women, who does a lot of education around women in leadership. So that's really our purpose, is to inspire. I keep saying it, but it's our mission to inspire and elevate.
Well, how are you doing? What mentor programming, or how are you working with that? Because that's such a huge piece to get women to the next step.
Do you want to take that one, Holly, or do you want?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
So we have, I don't remember the name of that Tempe group that we were able to support this year, who did that great.
Career Connections.
Yeah, Career Connections.
Okay, I've heard of them.
So we've been able to support Career Connections and be a part of that event based off of the funding that we've been receiving from the Night Run. But we also have starting last year, we started doing our own mentoring events and those sorts of activities from internal through the Women's Collective as well. And the funding that we've been getting from the Night Run also goes into our own events, of course, because we already have that.
Right.
So this last one was the Elevating Women. We had that just, 2 weeks ago, and I'm sorry that I wasn't able to make it. It was not a great day for me on that. But Kira, were you?
I was there, So really, and it's a really good point, Alicia, because one thing that we're finding when we look at this topic of women in leadership, the mentorship is a big piece of it.
It's missing.
It's right. Yeah. And it's interesting, too, because we've been reaching out to organizations, whether it's for sponsorships for the Night Run, but we're finding, when you talk about gaps, also a little bit of a gap in mentorship opportunities, training and development, even within big organizations. So the work that we're doing, we have even been asked, like, wow, do you have a program, or do you have a packet of curriculum that we could use in our organization to help further this effort? So it is one thing that we're doing. And we just, as Holly mentioned 2 weeks ago, had an Elevate Women where we had a woman leader come on, and I think her topic was your next promotion, what's holding you back. And so she did a whole session on, how you advance yourself in your professional field.
Almost like lunch and learns and stuff like that.
But it's good. And I think, too, it's not just necessarily private business or, we're really focusing on whatever it is in leadership. If you're part of a faith community, if you're in a nonprofit, if you're in private sector, if you're in local government, just leadership in general. But we do want to give an effort to put some attention to not just giving out grant funds, that's important, but also maybe being the leader in curriculum development and mentorship. And so if you have any ideas, powerful woman yourself,
I got some, we'll talk offline.
Yeah,
that's what I've been thinking about, when we're thinking.
Yeah.
Some of these, you've talked about that executive leadership role. Some people get stuck in trying to get to the middle management role and stuff like that. Does it matter where you're trying to work, or is it really just like, how are we empowering women to find the courage to better themselves in their career at any stage?
I think it's courage, but it's even more than that. It's the tools you need to apply that courage in whatever it is that you're doing. So if that's even just, I think it was interesting too, at the beginning of the inception of the Women's Collective, one of the things that we did was we sponsored the ASU Women's Tri-Team. And even that, Alicia, talking to young women coming up in their careers, that was another thing that we thought, it's not just courage. I think a lot of us might have the courage, but are you connected, or can we give you some advice on how to use your courage to get to the next level? Because sometimes it can be overwhelming.
It is overwhelming.
Or have you heard, I hear this all the time around our work is, that women will read a job description, and if we don't check mark off every single thing, we're not going to apply, so we have to change that mindset. And that's some of the work that we're doing around that is changing that mindset, having women be bold and bright and, use these tools and get yourself to the table if that's what you want to do.
What is the biggest need for the Women's Collective right now?
right now our goals are to grow membership and increase our fundraising.
Okay.
So we're 23 members strong right now. We're a membership organization, a 501c3. So we're really looking to grow our membership to have a bigger impact so that we can fundraise and get more funds to support this effort. So that's really been one of our key focus areas. And we've kind of, at this point where we're hitting a juncture, you talked about us growing, and it's like after 5 years, finally we're getting some brand recognition.
Yeah.
We are growing, and now we're at this point where we need to figure out how are we going to continue to grow, and we'll all laugh at this and probably really resonate that we're all busy working women, trying to grow a nonprofit. So that has been something. I mean, we talk about all the good, but there are some challenges that come with trying to grow
absolutely.
a nonprofit. We're a young nonprofit. We're working women trying to do these great things that are so important to us. So those are our goals, though. Increase fundraising, increase our membership.
And awareness, yeah.
And awareness, thank you. Yeah, which this is helping. So thank you for having us on.
Yeah, we've had, we've increased we have several different committees that meet, and we did add a committee this year actually to focus on the membership, and we're going to have a membership drive coming up in February of 2026.
Glad you
Nice.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
Membership
Yes.
drive, Alicia, for the Women's Collective might want to consider.
So yes, or anybody who's listening.
Yes, or any
for
of the
sure.
listeners.
Yeah, please.
Well, I was going to ask,
yeah.
where can we find you? Where
And-
can we volunteer or find out more information? Get involved in the night race, all that. And again, whatever you tell us, we'll have in the description of this episode for everything.
Yeah, sure. So I would say, if you type into Google the Women's Collective Scottsdale, you'll find it right on top. If you type in the night run, probably on the top, you'll either see the previous night run webpage or ours. So the night run Scottsdale or the night run Arizona, you'll see that. So that's easy to find us. We have our own Instagram identity, both for the race and for the organization as a whole. And I would say our fundraising goals, to add on to what Kira was saying, this night run, we do see this as our signature event. So how people can help us in that area is, as far as we've got 3 weeks coming up as of, this Saturday probably, or this past Saturday. So we've got less than 3 weeks. So if people want to register, easy to register, go to, type in the night run Scottsdale, and you can go straight to the page. And that'll help us out. We're still receiving sponsorships, so you're welcome to look at that on our webpage for the Women's Collective. But that'll help us grow as an organization. I would say the one other thing, too, we have the Mentoring and Advocacy Committee. So as you're mentioning our mentoring piece of it, too, we are developing those little pieces where we can share the lunch and learns and these little types of, just nuggets of information.
That's what we need.
That can be passed along easily in these different larger corporations or even the public.
I think the other thing that I've at least found, especially with the Women's Collective, is it's nice to be surrounded, by a group of women. We've often sometimes used the word sisterhood, but it feels good. You know what I mean? If you're going through a challenging time in your life, whether it's professional or as a mom or, whatever it is, to have this group of women around you. And yes, we're all working towards this mission and the advocacy and the night run, but really another element of that is just being connected to other women in your community, and there's power in that.
Well, and like I said, I have other suggestions when we get off of organizations I think you could work with. So it's that kind of connection too, right? To build us all up and make us a stronger, better community.
And that community is so important. We're actually working with Blue Zones for the first year.
Oh, I love it.
First
Yeah, I
time
love
this
them.
year too, and they're that aspect of community in order to increase our even your longevity, but just like your satisfaction with life and your ability to really enjoy every day.
And power, your
Absolutely.
back to your morals and values. Well, thank you for finding the hole and trying to fill it, for our community and build us up. And it starts very young, at this age, and what mentorship means and growing. So I think that's what it is. As a, especially for me and being a business owner and stuff like that, it can be hard and lonely out there, and having that mentorship and that women's collective of group of like-mindedness, you feel like part of a community, right? And then you feel the power to grow and ask and apply for things that you may not check every box to, right? Kind of thing.
That's right.
I love that. Okay, you can learn more, donate as well, thewomen'scollectiveaz.org. Again, the link will be in the description of this episode and more. There are many great events to tell you about, but first, let's talk about our favorite State Farm agent, Jeremy Mueller. Living in Scottsdale means knowing the value of community, and that's exactly what you get with Jeremy Mueller and his team. Giving back to the community is a top priority for Jeremy and all his teammates. He's been here for over 25 years, helping neighbors just like you with home, auto, life, and business coverage. He knows our city, our lifestyle, and our needs. Plus, with 3 local offices, help is always close by. So give him a call at 480-515-5223 or visit him at jeremymueller.com. We are going to have the Sip, Savor, and Shop by A Taste of AZ coming up. It's on Saturday, November 1st at Salt River Fields, so it's expected to sell out. If you haven't gotten your tickets, go now, or you can look through the fence and wish that you were there like everyone else that missed out. Of course, don't forget to sign up for the night run in Canal Convergence. I love Canal Convergence. I will participate in the night run. My husband's an ultra runner. He will run it, and my daughter will probably run it with him, but me and my son will just chill out and we'll see you at the finish line. But again, come out, have a good time, and you get to see Canal Convergence. That alone is worth doing the race for, and for a good cause. And of course, the Bentley Scottsdale Polo match is also happening that weekend. So you could go to the polo match and then go to the night run and do Canal Convergence, everything together. So go check it out. Again, the description is, the link is for all of these events is in this episode. Have a wonderful week, Scottsdale. Keep vibing, and I will see you around town.